Hello, my friends. My name is Dara, and this is Dear Hallmark. We're about to talk about a Hallmark movie, in particular, His and Hers. That is the movie that's kicking off Fall into Love for 2024, and it stars Brendan Elliott, Lacey Chabert, Clayton James, Stephanie Bennett. I was super excited for this movie. I loved the corporate hustle and bustle feel of it. I loved that Lacey and Brendan's characters were going to be married. I love that there was a bit of tension there in the premise from what I gathered. And so I watched, like, on premiere night, they put Junebug, which I loved from Summer Nights, right? Then they had His and Hers. So I was already in like, oh, I just watched one of my favorite movies from Summer Nights. I'm all in. The first like hour was it. I loved it. I loved the movie. It was at a 6. And then we kept going. And I said, then we got down to a 5, right? By like minute 45, okay? And, or like after the commercials, maybe it's like an hour and 15 minutes. We're at a 5. Then we get to the end, and I said, and I had to give it a 4.5. But here's the thing. I watched half of it again, the first half, and now I knocked it down to a 4. This has never happened to me before, where the more I watched a movie, the lower in ranking it got. And the ending really messed me up. Did the ending mess y'all up? Like, did it mess you up like it did me? I did not like, one, I'll say it felt like it ended 3 different times. Like the second, what is it called? Wedding Veil Journey, Allison's second Wedding Veil. I felt like that movie ended 3 different times, and I felt the same with this one. When Lacey and Brendan found out that it was all, spoiler alert if you haven't seen it yet, spoiler alert. When Lacey and Brendan found out it was all a setup, when then the Clayton and Stephanie's characters, they were on the TV show and then they got found out about each other's money. And then they're gonna start their own firm. That I said, I thought we were talking small town life. Like, I did not see the couple going to start their own firm. That threw me for a loop. And I didn't care about Gwen and our homie from the restaurant finding the, like, I didn't care. It didn't do much for me to see that happen. Them talking about it enough I was okay with. But that felt awkward. And so let me talk about what I do like, because what I do like is Lacey and Brendan. What I do like is that they were so adorable. They were so adorable. It's like, do you have a cavity? Because of how sweet they were throughout this entire film. They just work well together. What else can you say? Are we gonna talk about the Easter eggs that kept lemon dropping all over the place? They were just lemon dropping the Easter eggs, and it was great. From the baby goats to Lacey being married previously to a Hallmark star. I won't spoil it in case you haven't seen it yet, because I think that's one of the most precious, brilliant things that they could have done. I remember laughing out loud, like, oh my God. And I was texting my friend, because I think she was watching at the same time at this point. And I said, did you see who they had Lacey married to? It was so great. And I didn't even pick up on her doing a crossword, because it was so kind of arbitrary. I didn't even put the 2 and 2 together with her being, the leading crossword mysteries, which is, that's a slept-on series. Let's just call a spade a spade. It's a slept-on series. Clayton was funny in some parts. Stephanie played the mess out of her role. But I didn't like the ending. I just didn't like the ending. And here's the thing, because I talked about this on Instagram Live too. Like, I wanted a corporate lawyers movie, and I talked about how I wanted a corporate enemies to lovers movie, and they were both lawyers. I wanted Tyler Hynes and Christina Milian. They were vying for the same senior partnership, and then their mentors were formerly married. And like this, so they're kind of like egging on the tension and the rivalry between Tyler and Christina's character. And then Barbara Niven would play the client that they're both trying to like lock down or whatever, or trying to win for. Like, that's my dream corporate lawyers movie. Now, mind you, I still enjoyed this, but I'm still waiting for a good corporate enemies to lovers movie. And they don't have to be lawyers. Oh, speaking of corporate enemies to lovers, our Brennan's boss, Lois Gale, did she not give you full Jessica Pearson? For all of my Suits fans, and I'm talking about, I'm not a Netflix Suits fan. I was on it when it was on the air. When I had the Netflix DVD subscription, hello? That was one of the first DVDs I got when I used to have a Netflix DVD subscription. It was Suits, and that's how I got on the show. The first season of Suits, because I think I started watching it on air the second season. So I watched the first season on DVD and fell in love with the series, and Suits is by far still one of my favorite shows. It's on my Mount Rushmore of favorite shows in life. And so when I saw, and that woman has been in countless Hallmark mysteries and Hallmark movies. And so she gave me full Jessica Pearson. I could see to what she was wearing, she was giving me Jessica Pearson, and I was here for it. I was here for it, here for it, here for it. Even the dynamic between Brennan and Lois. What was his character's name? Mark? Yeah, because it was Dana and Mark, right? Yeah. Mark and Lois, their vibe was giving me Harvey and Jessica. It was giving me Harvey and Jessica, and I was here for it. Yeah, I think it's a good movie to have on. Like, you can watch it with your eyeballs, correct? But you could also have it on in the background and then be at the TV. Like, let's say you're cooking, right? You're cooking, and then the scene goes, and you go, let me watch it really quick. And then you get back to stirring the gumbo because you don't want it to overcook. That's the type of background movie. Like, you gotta cook, right? Flip the pancakes, right? Scramble the eggs. Oh. Okay, and then you get back. That's the type of movie I feel like it is. And it's funny, I was gonna do this review initially as a podcast episode, but time got away from me because I was gonna do a whole like summer recap. I did do a Summer Nights recap on the Hallmarkies podcast, but for the, like, so you can, you know, go, I think will I put a link in the description? We'll find out. But if you're not subscribed, first subscribe to the Hallmarkies podcast. My friend Rachel invited me on and we talked about Summer Nights, every movie. But I thought I still could do a Summer Nights recap for y'all, so that's what I was gonna do in the podcast episode. I might still do it and just throw it up as a bonus episode. And it's funny because I've been keeping tabs of what movies are 5 crowns and what movies are 4 crowns. I don't care about the other movies because this year has been exhausting for me when it comes to Hallmark movies. And I talked about this on my live. It's interesting. We talked about being in a Hallmark slump, and that happened for me in the summer. Not countdown to Christmas. Christmas in July kind of just like threw me into like a, I can't call it, boss. Like, you know? So, yeah. Well, here we are. We have fallen in love. And I can dig it. I can dig it. I can dig it. I can dig it. Now, I ain't gonna lie, because the Heiress and the Handyman about to come on. And it's interesting that it's following this movie, because it's like, this is a strong start. And you're going to put a movie like that right after this. Now, mind you, Heiress and the Handyman has been up on Hallmark Plus for the past 2 weeks already at this point. At least 2 weeks. So I could have watched it, and I probably started like 10 minutes of it. Y'all. I just gotta be in a particular mood to watch that type of movie. I'm just gonna call it a wash, and we'll pick it back up for Paul and Ashley's movie next week, because I don't know. But yeah, maybe instead of a review, I'll do my Summer Nights recap then, because listen. Yeah. Also, too, can we talk about Hallmark Plus for a little bit? Like, how do you guys want me to capture that content? Do I just keep it to myself and, you know what I'm saying? Or am I going Instagram Live? Are we doing podcasts? Am I doing YouTube reviews of the Hallmark Plus stuff? Because I watched the pilot of Chicken Sisters. I'm planning to watch Love on the Danube in replace of Heiress of the Handyman. The first one's out with Nazneen Contractor and Wes Brown. It's called Love Song. I'm planning to watch that. And I know another episode of the Chicken Sisters drops as well this week. Yeah, because when the Groomsmen's trilogy comes out, I know there's going to be all the rage. And I don't know if you, I don't want to, I mean, if you don't have it, I guess you don't watch it. So it is what it is. But let me know how you guys want me to capture my thoughts for Hallmark Plus content, or if that's something you guys would be interested in, because they're really ramping up this streaming service with so much stuff. Let me know how you would want me to capture my thoughts with that. I could do all of the above. Some will be on Instagram, which, by the way, I did a quick review of The Magic of Lemon Drops on Instagram and just threw it up there. It's like 4 minutes long. So if you're not following Dear Hallmark on Instagram, be sure to. And also, if you're not following, if you're not subscribed to the podcast, you want to make sure you're subscribed to the podcast as well, because not all of my reviews are captured here on YouTube. I do some reviews specifically for the podcast. So like this Fall Into Love season, you're going to find some reviews will not be here on YouTube. They're going to be on the podcast. So you want to make sure you are subscribed to both the YouTube channel and the podcast. And also be sure to comment and leave me a review for the podcast as well. It helps the algorithm let other people know that there's Hallmark content all year round instead of just at Christmas, because we ride or dies. Okay. Well, I'm not dying, so I shouldn't say that. I just ride. And then when we need gas, we fill up. Hello? And maybe this year we needed some gas, and I guess we filled up in August. Hello? So that's kind of the state of the union. But I feel like I'm rambling now. So my final rating for His and Hers is a 4. A 4 crown. It started at a 6. Like, I was obsessed with the first maybe 45 minutes. And then slowly it just began to get very weird. And I was just like, what we doing? And why we doing it? What's going on? But yeah. What did you guys think of His and Hers? Again, Lacey and Brennan is it. They're one of my favorite. I think I can now say they're one of my favorite couples on the network. Like one of my favorite pairings. Yeah. I think that's it. I just want to I want to search my heart and make sure there's nothing else in there. The fashions, Wardrobe Girls, A+. I mean, when you got a corporate movie, you have to call the Wardrobe Girls, because they're going to get you together. Geraldine's going to get you together. Her team's going to get you together. Pencil skirts, heels, button-ups, button-downs, suits tailored to perfection, ties, knots, everything, coats, bags. They're going to have it all. A Wardrobe Girls movie never misses. A Wardrobe Girls movie never misses. Okay, I really am rambling right now. So I'm going to stop right here. I'll meet y'all in the comments. Let's talk about His and Hers. What did y'all think? What do y'all feel about Fall Into Love? Should I still do a Summer Nights recap? So we got a lot to talk about. All right. What did you think about His and Hers? What are your feelings about Fall Into Love? Should I do a Summer Nights recap? I still might, but I still want to hear your thoughts. How are we going to talk about Hallmark Plus stuff? Am I going to do it on YouTube? Am I going to do it on a podcast? Am I going to do it on Instagram Live? Am I going to put some stuff just on Instagram? Maybe I'll do all of the above. So yeah, I'll meet y'all down there in the comments. And I hope you guys enjoyed my conversation with Paul Campbell too. I had such a blast. And thank you, Paul, again for coming onto the podcast. Hopefully, yeah, I look forward to this fall season, this Christmas season, kind of getting back into a groove with podcasting and putting up videos for you guys and doing some interviews for you guys. So yeah, well, in the meantime, between time to friend, let's start that again. In the meantime, between time, my friends, be sure to watch a Hallmark Fall into Love movie that you love. My name is Dara, this is Dear Hallmark, and I'll talk to you guys in the next episode. Ciao, my friends.